about my love. Wasn't it enough? Just let me know so I can.
So next thing up was Bobby Wagner is back with Seattle, man. Well, everybody knows, a lot of people out there get confused, but I've always rooted for the Jaguars in Seattle. It's always been a 50-50 ordeal to me. And people are like, oh, you're not a true fan of one team or the other. But it is what it is. I like the Jaguars as well. Always have. Last jersey I got, the third from last jersey I got was actually a Steve Largent jersey. But Bobby Wagner reuniting back with Seattle, man. I love to see this. I want to see him retire a Seahawk. To me, there's just so many good things about this, especially for Seattle when you don't know exactly what they're going to look like this year, but you bring some familiarity, if that's a word. You bring some a familiar face back that's a legend, obviously, and you can see if you guys can win games again. The thing that I remember hearing is that the relationship between Bobby and Seattle was bad because of the way he was released with Seattle. I remember that whole ordeal, or was it just me? I remember everybody found out the whole ordeal that they didn't formally call him and tell him. They just he found out on Twitter, and then they decided to tell him that he was actually released. So I thought that there was a whole rift there with the Seahawks, and I'm not sure where that all left off, but to me, knowing all the greats of Seattle, when you really look at it, to me, he's the greatest Seahawk to have ever graced that field. And I know he didn't get to play in their old stadium and all that, but I mean, for the time being, no off the field issues. You hear nothing but great things about him. He's got the numbers. He's one of the best linebackers of all time, if you ask me. Now, let's look at the numbers to back up that claim, right? Because everybody likes numbers. In 11 years, the dude has 1,523 tackles. That's combined tackles, not solo. We'll get into the solo tackles here in a second. That's 138 combined tackles per year. Sacks, 29.5. I don't think anybody here is disputing that Bobby Wagner is not he's not a sack artist, but he did hit a career high last year with the Rams with 6 sacks. You could possibly say that it was his best statistical all-around season with the Rams. So getting Bobby Wagner back, remember last year everybody's like, oh, Bobby Wagner might be a little washed. Who would take a chance on him in free agency? Now that dude's still playing at a high level, and the Rams absolutely sucked. 65 passes defended, 13 interceptions, 6 forced fumbles, 78 tackles for loss, 88 quarterback hits. Now, what you can tell from this is he's not going to go after your quarterback, but the dude is as solid as they come. Let's put it like this. Go to Home Depot, ask them what's the toughest drywall that you can find that could last and stand the test of time year after year. I bet you're going to see some sheetrock that has a number 54 on it for Bobby Wagner. 900 solo tackles. So 900 of his 1,500 combined tackles, 900 of them have been solo tackles. That is 23rd all time out of all linebackers that have ever played the game of football in 11 years. We're talking about linebackers that played way more years than Bobby Wagner, and he's at 23 all time. So tell me again if you don't think this guy is possibly the greatest Seahawk of all time. And he's not done yet. He's coming into week 12 to play in front of the 12th man in his 12th season to be reunited with the Seattle Seahawks. Tell me that doesn't give you goosebumps right there. And the team is looking promising. He's coming and he gets to play with Tariq Woolen. Devin Bush gets to play beside him. Another sideline to sideline guy when he's out there. They pick up some more pieces in the draft this year. You know, they got Quandre Diggs still. Jamal Adams should come back healthy. Man, it gets me a little excited, man. I'm not even gonna lie. Now, you hope Geno Smith pans out to be the same type of quarterback he was last year, and you know Kenneth Walker coming back, and coming back. I mean, he was a rookie last year, so of course he's going to be there. But DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, who I said, Tyler Lockett, if he's not the most underrated wide receiver in the league, I don't know who you put there. Depending on the 49ers quarterback situation, the Seahawks could make a fight for this division. I'm saying right now, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, the NFC West is the best division in football year after year after year as far as competitors go. How many NFC champions have they had that have come out of, or how many teams in the NFC West that ends up in the NFC Championship game? How many times over the last 12 years has the Seahawks been in the Super Bowl? How many years has the 49ers been in the Super Bowl? The Cardinals, say what you want, they did have a 10-game winning streak. The Rams have been to the Super Bowl twice. They won one. Seattle's won one. 49ers have won one against the Ravens. So, Dante's on crack. I mean, dude, think about how competitive their division has been. I don't think that's incorrect to say that the NFC West is the best division of football until proven otherwise. Seattle still went to a Super Bowl last year, and we were saying that they were possibly going to be the worst team in that division when people were saying that the Rams were still going to find themselves ending back up in the Super Bowl. I remember all those takes. Everybody, Twitter, YouTube, you call it. People were saying that the Rams were going to go back to the Super Bowl. Then everybody got hurt. Started with Cooper Kupp, Matt Stafford. Everybody went down. Jalen Ramsey didn't have the season that he had. Taylor Rapp was complete butt cheeks. You know what I'm saying? Like it's they didn't bring back Von Miller. They didn't bring back Odell Beckham Jr. Allen Robinson was a huge disappointment. Van Jefferson couldn't stay healthy. Tyler Higbee was a bright spot for them. They still don't know what they want to do with the running back situation. I mean, the Rams have got some issues, but it's still the most competitive division in the NFL. If anybody, I know, please stop. I'm just saying, man. NFC West have been the most competitive division year after year. There's always somebody that ends up coming out to be the cream of the crop from that division. Over the last 12 years, franchise, who's been the best division in football? In the last 12 years, tell me. In the last 12 years. NFC East. Let's move on.